Hi there, my name's Mike and welcome to the online briefing for round one of the Active Training World Cross Country Series based here at Merchant Taylors School. So many of you will be entering to the playing fields area along this long drive here that comes from the car park, and this area on the right hand side is where we will have our registration set up near these trees. So you'll be turning up here, registering, picking up your numbers and packs, and then this field here to your right in front of the school, known as the headmaster's field, is where we will have our start and also our finish line positioned. We do ask that when you turn up and register, that after you've picked up your numbers you don't hang around this area, and that you do vacate the area and go away, so that to prepare yourself, to warm up and get yourself ready for the race. We don't want to have hundreds of people milling around in this area here. Don't forget, we want to keep that social distancing in place. In the registration area around here is also where we'll be positioning the portaloos. Outside the portaloos we will have sanitizing tables with wipes and also with sanitizing gel. We'd like you to use those facilities and sanitize your hands before you actually use the facilities and also after using those facilities. We want to keep you safe and also the safety of all your fellow competitors and any other people who are attending the event here today. For many of you, I suspect this may be the first cross-country race of this season. Obviously it's been a very strange year for many of us, and this cross-country race will be slightly different to what you're used to. One of the big changes is that we'll be setting off in small waves of 6 at a time rather than the mass starts that you're used to for cross-country. And one of the other big changes is that we don't want to have big groups of people milling around before the start and after the finish in your club groups like you would do at a normal cross-country race. So we do ask that before the race, if you want to go and warm up before the race, after you've registered, that you go off and run around the fields to warm up, run parts of the course. As you can see, there is plenty of space to be able to do that. And then after the race, we do also ask that you don't hang around and make this into a big social event between you and your club mates. I know we'd all like to do that, but I'm afraid at the moment we do have to vacate the race area as quickly as is possible. So this area here in front of the school is where we will have our start area and also our pre-start area. Now the pre-start area is where you'll be called to probably about 10 minutes before the start of the race, and that is the area where we will then call you forward in groups to start the race. We're going to be starting the race in waves of 6 at a time. Your starting numbers will be based upon the predicted times that you provided us with for either your 1500 or your 5k PBs or estimated times. And so it's quite likely you should be going off with people of similar ability to you, and in theory the faster runners should be going off first to reduce the amount of overtaking that's going on the course. Now for the senior races, where we've got more people participating, we'll allocate in the pre-start area some wave pens, so that those wave pens will be based upon your start numbers. So go to those particular areas. It makes it easier for us to call you forward in smaller batches to the actual start area. For the younger age groups, we won't be doing that. We'll just call you over into that pre-start area, and we can then call you forward, like I say, 6 at a time to actually start the race. The race is going to start in the corner over here, and it's going to go down to the school and then along the front of the school before heading out into the playing fields. You can see these playing fields are huge, so we will have lots and lots of marking out there using small flags. We'll be using orange cones on the floor and also barrier tape and stakes, so it'll be easy to find your way around. This is the pre-start area where you'll be doing your final warm-up before you start the race. You'll be called here approximately 10 minutes before the start of your race. You can see there's still plenty of room to do your strides, your stretching and any of the drills that you want to do before you get called to the start line. But we do ask that you keep off of the cricket squares. All the cricket squares will be roped off with this white rope. And these cricket squares are positioned all over the playing fields, so when you're doing your warm-up or you're just hanging around before or after the race, make sure that you don't cross those cricket squares. We're very, very fortunate to have been given access to these facilities. I'd like to say a big thank you to Merchant Taylors School for allowing us to use them. and we do want to maintain our very strong relationship with the school. So please do respect the facilities here and don't move on to those cricket squares. This is our beautiful Lakeland path that you'll be running along. You'll be coming down from that direction over there where you drop down to the lake. And you're running along this path, and then you're going to be going down here and then through the area that we've been using for our open water swimming. We'll obviously have this all taped off and marked for you. Come around here in between our little gazebo village, and then you'll be heading off round the far side of the lake on the Lakeland path. That Lakeland path does get muddy in winter, so I can anticipate that with the weather we've had recently, it will be nice and wet, hopefully. This part of the course is only being used by the 8K course. So here we are at one of the more interesting parts of the course. This is the river crossing at the top of the farmer's field. You can see it's not a massive river, it's more of a stream really. And these guys are going to demonstrate how it should be done. There we go. If you get it right, you clear it in one stride. Now this is the second river crossing, and you can see it's a little bit wider than the first one. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they can clear this one with one stride. It's worth noting that the under 11 courses don't do these river crossings. It's only the under 13s and above. So yeah, you are going to get wet going through this one. So this field here, as I'm showing you, represents probably the biggest hill on the course. Not quite some of the monsters that we might have seen at some cross-country courses, but I'm sure towards the end of the course you're going to feel it as you run up into that far corner. And then we are also going to zigzag you up and down a few times just to make the most of it for you. And then you're going to run around the perimeter of the field and then actually exit through one of the gates down there. And in actual fact, this is going to be the final couple of hundred meters of the course for everybody, as they come through the gate down there, run along this tree-lined route here before crossing over that internal road and then on to the field there where the finish is going to be. In fact, where those two guys are running right now.